Welcome to Unscripted with your hosts, Corbin and Colton. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to Unscripted! Here we are, we're back. And Corbin's purple.
I,
He's purple.
I think it's pretty cool.
I think it's kind of whack. You're purple. Anyways, we got a packed episode. We're doing NFL and NBA all in one go. We got a ton of NFL news to cover. It was the NFL trade deadline yesterday as of us recording this on a Wednesday. So if you missed any of those trades, we're going to be talking about them. We had a bunch of big games. It's kind of the point of the season where we talk a little bit about the playoff picture, since we're kind of at the midway point. Corbin, how you doing? How's your week been? Ready to go for another run here?
It's been chilling. You know, schooling. So yeah, I'm going to a Lehigh game on Saturday, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, actually,
Yeah,
I had a
that'll be-
couple friends from high school that play there, so shout out to them if they're watching this. Um,
Yeah.
So yeah, well, and we got a lot of we got NBA coverage too. So if you're gonna here for the NBA stuff, just stay more towards the end. We will get to it. But so I guess to start off, let's just start with some big games. We had a lot of big games. Let's talk about the one that obviously everyone was really eyeing up. And it ended up being a standalone game just because of when it ended. But Bills Chiefs in Buffalo, the yearly Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season happened once again. Um, I'm curious to see what your takeaways are, Corbin. I watched like 80% of the game, and I just know that the Bills thoroughly outplayed the Chiefs, but it was still a one-score game at the end. But I'll let you start.
Um, yeah, I don't. To me, it was only a 7-point game, but to me, I think Buffalo dominated the game from all the way to the end. Um, Patrick Mahomes played absolutely abysmal. Uh, his QBR was only 50, and he was 15 of 34 completion. That is not going to win you football games in Buffalo against a dude who is one of the favorites to win MVP this year. They did not stop the run, although I will say Buffalo did feed James Cook, but he still averaged about four to five carry. Which is you can't really judge like Patrick Mahomes' stats completely because they were playing from behind and they were just having to like hurry up most of the time, like tempo offense, because they were getting outplayed and their defense was not stopping the Bills until the fourth quarter. But they were so far behind. But the completion I'm not a stat guy, but I don't really think the completion percentage is that much of like a big factor of anything. But and they were also like probably just forcing stuff too because they were losing as well. But if you look at the stats for the receivers, Rashee Rice 80 yards, Hollywood Brown 73 yards. Like the ball was spread pretty well, but when you have a team as good as the Bills, like Josh Allen 23 or 26 for 273, it's hard. It's gonna be hard to beat that. And Kincaid had over 100 yards. Shakir had a pretty good game, but Buffalo was such a balanced team, and I think if their defense can play at a pretty high level consistently, that they'll have a shot to honestly go all the way. I think they're better than the Colts. I think they're better than the Broncos. Patriots, that's a toss-up because the Patriots, I feel like, are a weird team. Like, I feel like they're not as I feel like they could beat a really good team and the next week lose to like the Panthers or something.
Well, Patriots beat Buffalo in Buffalo.
I know, that's what I mean. That's why I said
which was Buffalo's first.
I
I think they're like 15-1 in their last 16 home games, and their only loss was to New England.
I know, but that's why I said to toss up because I really feel like at this time of the season, or even like 3 weeks from now, if they play each other again, I think Buffalo's winning that game.
Yeah.
Even if it's in like New England, but that's what I mean. But the Patriots, I feel like, are the team to beat someone really good like Buffalo, but then lose like the Bears, like the Panthers or something. So,
well, hey, no shame in losing to Carolina. We're gonna get to them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Chiefs and the Panthers only 5-4 teams.
Yeah, but Carolina's a weird team though. Like, obviously, you ask what team's better, the Chiefs or the Panthers? It's the Chiefs, bro. I don't think the Panthers better than the Chiefs.
No, yes, everyone will agree on that.
But Yeah, I mean that's what I think. I think Buffalo dominated. I think they. I mean, Josh Allen also owns Patrick Mahomes in the regular season, but that's also regular season. But
Yeah.
yeah, what did you think?
So I'm a big stat guy, and so when you look at between the stats between both teams in this game, uh, it really shows me like kind of where these two teams are at. Like the reason why people hold the Chiefs so high, at least this year, is mainly just because they have Patrick Mahomes. And, as people will say that, I mean, I think Rashee Rice is a really good wide receiver, but like I don't think Worthy and like Hollywood Brown are that great. And I think Travis Kelce's he's still like a good tight end, but I don't think he's like, the Tucker Kraft or the Tyler Warrens of the NFL right now. But the big stat that I mean, really not even really a stat, just from watching that game was like the Bills can actually run the ball, and Kansas City literally they can't run the ball at all. I mean, like even if they try to, I mean, Kareem Hunt as your running back at this point, I mean, diving into the trade deadline, we saw they offered, I think it was a fourth round pick for Brees Hall because obviously the Jets were just fire sailing everybody. They were just clearing house. And the Chiefs didn't want to go and bump that up to a third, and they're stuck with Kareem Hunt. If I'm the Chiefs, I don't know why you don't do that. It's a third round pick, and you get Brees Hall. I don't see why you don't make that move. Um, but I don't want to say the Chiefs are like overrated this year because they have, Patrick Mahomes, they do still have Kelsey and Andy Reid, but they're 5-4. And I've seen a lot of Chiefs media, and even the biggest Chiefs fans, like if you look at their remaining schedule, it's really interesting because they still got to play the Broncos twice, and the Broncos are really good. That defense is really, really good. They got the Chargers one more time, and then I believe they have Houston, and they have two other teams in there, I'm pretty sure, on top of that. But like Houston has a great defense. The Chargers, the Chiefs will probably beat, especially considering the Chargers got them in week one. Um, and Denver, I mean, their only chance of getting like a home playoff game is if they sweep Denver in the regular season, and I don't think they will. Like, there's a good chance that I mean, the Chiefs are already 5-4. Like, they could meet. I mean, their margin for error now is super small, and Buffalo's now got the game over them in the regular season. And I think as of the past 2 years, I think Josh Allen's been better than Mahomes, and James Cook is an awesome running back. And as long as they can, run the football, I don't see why on paper. I mean, now again in the playoffs, Mahomes has obviously beaten Josh Allen, but if there's any year that Buffalo should get over that hump, it should be this year. I just this Chiefs team is like they're doing everything they can to stay within that Super Bowl bubble, and I just think it's kind of fading away as kind of each game passes. I mean, they've already lost 4 games. I mean, you don't have a lot of margin for error with those division games coming up. But shout out to Josh Allen who played amazing. Patrick Mahomes had his lowest uh QBR and passer rating. Passer rating. I'm pretty sure in this game, his career low. I think in the regular season he might have had lower in like a Super Bowl or something. Um, but yeah, Bills, they outplayed them. There was a touchdown late, and Kansas City did have the ball at one point in the fourth quarter to go and tie the game. Um, but yeah, it was mostly all Buffalo. Um, Chiefs, they get a bye week, and then they come back, and then they got that portion of their schedule. So we'll see. I'm not worried about the Bills. The Bills are kind of just focused on trying to catch the top teams in the AFC and try and get the 1 seed. But between New England and New England's got like the easiest schedule left. And Indianapolis, which let's talk about their game next. I don't really think anybody saw the defensive performance that the Steelers had, as their fans pregame were literally holding a funeral for their defense outside of the stadium. But and it was still it was a one touchdown game on the scoreboard, but when you force 6 turnovers, you probably should win by more than that. But it was a great win for the Steelers. Um, I don't know if where you are on the Steelers defense, and whether or not you think that the Steelers are back to any point, but I think Rodgers has been pretty solid this year. He statistically he was fine, And Daniel Jones is known to where when he gets hit, he's going to fumble the ball, and he was getting hit, he was under pressure a lot, so he threw some picks. Um, and it was it was a game where they weren't able to utilize their best player too, and Jonathan Taylor. I mean, we were saying on here last week that he's probably an MVP candidate. So I mean, who knows? Maybe Pittsburgh put out the blueprint going forward. I think. Oh, and I think the Chiefs play the Colts coming up. I want to make sure I'm right here. Um, but if I'm correct, yeah. So the Colts have Atlanta this Sunday. It's the Berlin game. I'm pretty sure it's the overseas game. And the Colts have their bye week, and then the Colts play Kansas City. So that Colts Kansas City game is going to tell us a lot for both those teams as far as like going into the playoffs now. Where are we going to be at? And let's talk about this game, and then we'll talk about the Colts' big move for their secondary. What were your thoughts? I don't know where you are on the Steelers this year.
I honestly don't know because they have wins like this and they have losses where I'm like,
They look
how
terrible.
are they? Yeah. I do agree with you. I think Aaron Rodgers has been pretty solid this year. I don't really think he's done anything crazy. Like, I don't think he's had a game where I'm just like, wow, this guy absolutely is washed. But yeah, like you said, I mean, they took out the Colts' number one option, and they completely. And again, this is a game where they felt like they dominated and it ended up being a one-score game. But I think it is going to be a blueprint, and teams are going to look at this. And if you take out Jonathan Taylor, and then are they really a 7-2 team? Obviously, I mean they have good weapons for sure. I mean Josh Johnson, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce.
Yeah, Pittman,
Tyler
Pierce,
Warren,
all those guys are super underrated.
That's the thing. So, but just getting pressure in general because you take Jonathan Taylor out, obviously one of the best running backs in the league, and then they have to rely on Daniel Jones, who, I mean, he's Daniel Jones. Like, can he sit?
He looked like Daniel Jones.
Yeah, he looked like New York Giants Daniel Jones. Like that, then we'll really be able to tell did he improve from the Giants, or is this just because Jonathan Taylor and his receiver core is just carrying him? But no, I mean, I don't really think this is a loss like for Colts fans like panic. I mean, this is totally a trap game.
No, they are absolutely they were
honestly.
absolutely allowed to lose this game. I mean the only thing where you're like, oh, it kind of sucks we lost this game is because it was against an AFC team, but they're not in their division, and I don't think the Steelers are obviously a threat to the 1 seed. But as far as you're trying to stay ahead of New England and Buffalo and those teams.
Yeah, I mean,
But they got. I mean, technically it's a short week-ish because you play Sunday morning, not really. So let's see if they can get back. Atlanta is the most coin flip team there is probably in the NFL. And I'm not sure. I think Pittsburgh also. I think Pittsburgh's bye is next week, if I'm correct. But I totally could be wrong. Yes, I am totally wrong. Did they have their bye week already? I'm not entirely sure. I might be looking at this wrong. They got the Chargers though, coming up. It looks like that's going to be the Sunday nighter, so that'll be an interesting game. Because they're at the Chargers. So, and we won't talk about the Chargers too much in this, but they also just lost their best offensive tackle for the rest of the season. So we'll have to see how Justin
they did
Herbert
trade for Trevor Penning though.
I don't think that's not gonna fill Joe Alt's role with that team.
This just came out actually, and it's NFL related. The Cardinals just placed Kyler Murray on IR.
Yeah, how I guess since you just said that, let's talk about that because in our division, so their coach comes out after Brissett's game against Dallas, and they're like, yeah, no, Kyler Murray's our guy. We're not making any changes. And then like the next day, he's like, oh, actually, Kyler Murray's still not like healthy, and we like Brissett, and we're gonna stick with him. And now they're like, oh, and now Kyler Murray's on the IR, and now Brissett's gonna play. So
yeah, I think that's definitely an excuse to not play.
I don't know what to me it sounds like false reporting. Who knows? They might get fined for it because maybe they were trying to find a way out of that. But that's something to watch as we get closer to the end of the season is if Kyler Murray will be on the move. Um, but so yeah, let's kind of keep going through here. Um, so this is so funny. I was watching shout out to First Things First on FS1. So there's a crazy comparison going on. I don't know if you've seen this. But this is about Bears Bengals that Joe Flacco's stats so far with the Bengals are like insane, number one, but number two, better than Joe Burrow's. Now, keep in mind, it's a very short span of things, but like I'm not saying this, but like is there eventually going to be a question, depending on if Joe Flacco does keep this up offensively, where we're like, how good is Joe Burrow actually? If Because we know that their offensive weapons are nuts between Higgins and Chase, and their offensive line's okay, and they have a good running back and shit, but I don't. I mean, that was one. I mean, it might, arguably game of the year. Um, the Bengals recover an onside kick. They get it. They score a touchdown to take the lead. They give Caleb Williams like 45 seconds ish to go get a touchdown, and Colston Loveland breaks a tackle like in the middle of midfield and runs it for like a 58-yard touchdown. I don't know. What were your thoughts? I mean, the Bears came away with a huge win for them. I mean, now they're 5-3, and you look at divisions. Is that division wide open? I mean, the Lions just lost in Detroit to J.J. McCarthy. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Um, I mean, I do think it's absolutely crazy to throw for almost 500 yards and lose.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense is bitching about like finish the game. Especially Chase Brown. This guy's like, we made our play, but finish the game. Okay, man, but like, you also, it's not just that final possession is why you guys lost. Like, there's plays. I mean, he only ran for like 3. He averaged 3 a carry. Like, wow,
Yeah.
game changer.
Well, and it was mainly Jamar Chase too. I mean, I feel for him. I mean, him and Higgins are
For sure.
going
Like,
off,
the
and
only people that can really talk is the receiving core because they're doing all this every game, and they're the reason why they're putting up all these points. Not Chase Brown. And
Chase Brown did have 75 receiving yards though, so he still combined had over 100 yards between Chase Brown, Chase, and T. Higgins receiving and rushing combined. They were all over 100 yards. So,
But
I
I don't
mean,
know. I don't really like the fact that their offense is calling out the defense like that because it is a team game. Like I don't like that. I wouldn't like that if I was a Bengals fan.
I mean, I don't know. I think at some point you got to just be like, dude, like we just scored 42.
Yeah,
Like,
but you don't do that. You don't do that in a post game interview though. Like it's what's the point? But you're not gaining anything from that besides just negative mojo in the locker room.
Mojo.
We're gonna talk about this later, but I think Colston Loveland is definitely offensive rookie of the year candidate.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, he balled out this game.
Yeah, he's got a similar stature to Tucker Kraft, who the Packers have.
But like you said, with Joe Flacco and Joe Burrow, I definitely do not think that there should be a conversation at all between who's better. It's called Joe Flacco throws the ball a million times a game.
It's not even that. I mean, yeah, he threw 47 times, but there's been plenty of games where Joe Burrow has. That's what the Bengals do, regardless of who their quarterback.
But it's a totally different offense with Joe Burrow in there, though. Like Joe Flacco is literally just like he snaps the ball and then he's not moving out of the pocket.
I mean, that part of that is true, but the numbers say like, hey, the production is still the same.
It's a totally different game though. Like the Bears defense sucks.
Yeah, and so does the Bengals, which is why they lost.
Well,
yeah. And Caleb Williams made a lot of really good plays. You know, I don't know. That division confused the hell out of me this weekend between.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I mean, you think out of all the games where J.J. McCarthy to come back and who looked awful besides one quarter, and they're like they send him the extra week and they're like, all right, no, like we want to make sure that you're healthy. Because I mean, at this point, they don't have another quarterback to throw in there if JJ McCarthy gets hurt again. Because Wentz is out for the year and their backup is some no-name guy. So I mean, they were praying that McCarthy was going to be insane. And I know statistically McCarthy wasn't like great, but to go into Detroit only like your third ever NFL start and go and have that performance and win and beat the Lions is freaking nuts. And then on top of that, the Lions lose, the Bears win the way they did. I mean, Green Bay loses to I don't know. I have absolutely no idea what is going on in the NFC North.
Yeah, it is
No
weird
idea.
because the Lions are 5. I mean, Bears
Look
5
at
and
that
3, Lions
division.
5 and 3, Vikings 4 and 4.
I have
It's weird. I
no
mean, that
idea.
that division is going to come down to the last like couple of weeks because of
Yeah, I mean until
the
those teams
Vikings are
play each
healthy
other again.
now. The Bears are just a weird team, and the Lions, they don't know whether they want to play good or bad each week.
Yeah,
So
really,
and
really
the Lions
whack.
still could have won that game too, but
Yeah.
again, but yeah. And JJ McCarthy only threw for 143 yards. Like it's not
Yeah.
like this guy was like
Yeah,
insane.
he didn't
also
even
had an
he
interception.
did not even need to he did not even play that well, but as long as, his good passes and his good throws are touchdown completions, he's a rookie. I mean, you got to live with that for now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess, we'll kind of move on. I mean, there were a couple of games we can just kind of briefly talk about them, the Jaguars hung on and won by a point against the Raiders. So
I
the
knew that game was
Jaguars were
going to be
5 and
close.
3. Oh, of course. Speaking of the Patriots, the Patriots also only won by a point against Atlanta. I don't know what to make of that team.
Atlanta's weird too. Yeah,
Penix
I
looked
don't know.
good. Drake London had
Oh
insane
my
catches.
God.
Insane catches. Carolina wins by 3. Um, it was a
Green Bay again. Green Bay, like I don't in the it's just the NFC in general. Like I don't know who's good. The only teams I can say are really good are the Rams and Seahawks and the Eagles, I guess.
I mean
Every other team, I feel like the
that have
record does
shown
not
that
matter. Yeah,
they're consistently good in the NFC. I mean, yeah, probably. Because
like those three
the
teams, I
Packers
feel
have
like if
both their losses are against, I mean, not like bad. Okay, well, Dallas is bad, but
well
you
they tie. I mean, tying against Dallas is pretty bad. Yeah.
well, yeah, I mean, Dallas is pretty bad. You lose to Cleveland, and then you lose to Carolina, and you lose to Carolina at home. And I think that they lost to Cleveland at home. Like what? I don't know. And the Packers, they can't. That team also can't run the ball. I, I don't know. And New England is. I mean, New England might be the one seed at this point. I mean, everyone's talking about how easy their schedule is. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I
They
know.
don't
Their
play
schedule
anybody.
is absolutely cake.
Um, which it probably isn't good for them because then when they do get into the playoffs, they're going to have to play a really good team. Um, but and the Broncos. I mean, what a weird game that was. Between the Broncos and Houston. Um, but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, there was a lot of really, really crazy games. I know we kind of talked about the ones that we wanted to. I guess for right now we can highlight. So like we said in the NFC, the Seahawks look really, really good, and we haven't played them yet, which is not like concerning, but it's gonna be interesting. I think we literally, I'm pretty sure we play them, the Rams play them after we play the Niners this week when we get Niners Seahawks. And I believe we're home for that one. I believe we play in San Francisco and then we go back home and play Seattle at home. And speaking of that, Sam Darnold was I mean, this dude
Yeah,
threw
that
for
was insane.
21 for 24, 330 yards and 4 touchdowns. This game was over at halftime. Over at halftime. I mean, it was unreal. And for the people that think that Jane Daniels should not have been in the game, I completely
I agree.
disagree. I think he should have.
Oh my.
I think because you got to think about it like this. You're the Commanders. Jane Daniels just came back, and I know that they were losing at halftime and everything, but you got to think if you got to get some momentum going with your offense at this point, especially with your quarterback just coming back going into next week, or else you're cooked completely. Now, obviously, he got hurt, and he's gonna be done. But like at the end of the day, like if this is any team, regardless of the record, I mean, maybe if you're like only have one win, you're not doing this. But like for example, like if you were Minnesota, like who's now 4-4, and you were if you were to lose, you would go to 3-5, and you're in this situation. Like you're going to keep JJ McCarthy in because you want to establish some offensive rhythm or momentum. So in that way, at least when you go into the locker room and you have that loss already, you don't got worry. Like it's unfortunate what happened to him. And the Commanders are in another situation where you have this skinny but insanely talented quarterback, and they're going to be. I mean, he's already had. I think it's what like 4 injuries to like all different parts and ligaments and bone, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I've always been skeptical of Daniels since he's been in the league. I think he's really skinny, and I think he's really talented. I mean, I look at myself and I'm like, dude, like that's the reason why I never played football. I'm scared. I would get broken in half, kind of like how his arm did. Like literally, that's what happened. Like I don't know. I know you. I mean, what? So you disagree that you think he should have been
I
pulled
think
or
it
what?
is absolutely stupid that he was in the game. I don't care what your record is. If you're down 31 with 7 minutes left, there should be your. I don't care what other starters are. Your quarterback, your franchise quarterback, should not be in the game. It makes no sense. No matter what team you are, if the Vikings are like that, it doesn't matter. You're not putting JJ McCarthy in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
It makes no sense.
I think it's weird because it's like if it's Stafford, then obviously you don't want him in because he's old.
It doesn't matter, bro.
But
There's no difference. There's no difference between an old quarterback who is playing at a high level than a young quarterback who's your franchise quarterback. Who
but I
might
also
like
just think like what is Dan Quinn supposed to do? Just like go up to Jan Daniels and just be like, yo, like even though you want to play and you want to get in there and you just came
they're
back from
down
injury and you want to play
31.
some football. I don't know.
They're down 31. Just the game's over, bro. Just there's no point. There's no shot with 7 minutes.
No, it had nothing to do with them winning the game. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, but I'm saying if you know you're not going to win the game, there's no point of having your franchise quarterback in there.
I don't know.
Like, and like, even if he wouldn't have got hurt and he would play the rest of the game, there's no point. I still wouldn't agree with that. I think it makes zero sense.
Yeah. Well, their season is basically over after that game. A lot of people thought after last year that they were, the timeline for them was going to be, a lot of people thought they were going to take a step back this year just because of how much they overachieved last year. Um, but I mean, I don't know. Their roster's old. I think they have the oldest roster in the NFL. Um, it's weird for me to just be like, oh, I think they're in rebuild mode, but I mean, that's what makes the most sense to me. I mean, this offseason, you might as well, I mean, people that are old, clean them out, get some picks, and, kind of reload in a year or two. Because
Um,
I don't think Dallas is, I mean, Dallas made some moves, but I don't think that's going to do anything.
yeah.
Uh,
Talk about picks. I think the Jets are going to be really freaking good in like 3 to 4 years, dude. The amount of first round picks that they have, and these upcoming Jeremiah Smith, like you have. I mean, if they can get Jeremiah Smith, I mean that's like I think Jeremiah Smith can be as good as Justin Jefferson if you keep up with college football. I don't know if you do.
well,
But
I know who he is.
His potential. I mean, he's
Um,
probably if he's your age and he's doing the stuff that he's doing. But again, we'll go right into this with the trade deadline stuff.
yeah.
So they trade away Sauce Gardner. They got 2 first-round picks and A.D. Mitchell, who's a young receiver, former second-round pick.
Yeah,
I
two
think that is
two
a
first round
total
picks for
fleece the Jets.
no, yeah, two first round picks for a corner especially is crazy.
Yeah,
Especially like
I want to talk to the Colts and say what has he done that to be worth 2 first-round picks.
I think the Colts mainly just threw those first round picks out because they're thinking like, well, I mean, I forget what year they're for. I think they're for 2027 or something like that. But if you're the Colts, you're like, well, like, do we really need first round picks at the moment? Because you're like, well, we have Warren, we have Pittman.
It's a win now move and a rebuild
Yeah,
move, but it's still not worth it.
but if like retrospectively, I mean, the only players you would really trade 2 first round picks for are like if it's a generational wide receiver, a really good quarterback, a really good D tack, like lineman. You don't really see that with corners, especially nowadays where like corners aren't like like no corner on any team besides like Pat Surtain and like I guess you could throw Sauce in there are like jumping out at the screen at you like, yo, like you can't even throw the ball if that guy's on your wide receiver. Because there's so many good wide receivers in every team that it just doesn't matter. But I mean, there was that move. I thought what Dallas was doing was stupid. I think what's the point of trading away Micah for what you traded him away for? And then you're like, well, now we're gonna give a first round pick and some other stuff. We're gonna go get Quinnen Williams, and I don't. That does not fill. I mean, and they got Logan Wilson, a linebacker who was benched,
But
benched. Like,
that's because he requested a trade prior.
yeah, but like, I don't think that's those moves are not gonna fix Dallas. I mean, maybe they'll be a little bit better, but I don't know. I mean,
I think they're good trades, but it's too late, bro.
yeah, I think it's too late. And we'll see how the Sauce move plays out, and especially when they go and play the Chiefs. Um,
But I don't. I mean, I may get freaking punched in the face. I don't really think Sauce Gardner is all that either.
I think
I think he's.
I think I think he's a
I don't
really
really think
good
he's that good.
corner on his good days, and I think on the days he's off, he's a solid corner. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no like. It kind of like reminds me of like when the Rams first got Jalen Ramsey, he was still like okay, like he's still like nasty. But after like his first year with us, he was a good corner. He wasn't like I guess he was probably still like on all pro just because there's just not a lot of really good corners. But like after that, I was like, he's a good corner, but he's not like, oh my God, you can't throw the ball at him. Like he was beatable over the top and all that kind of stuff. A lot of the corners are. Like look at Trayvon Diggs when he had his crazy year and he had all those interceptions for Dallas. He's terrible. He gets run through all the time.
He's never healthy.
Yeah, well, and that too. But like that year where he was it's just because he had a bunch of interceptions. That's because quarterbacks love to throw the ball at him because he would always overplay routes and he'd get burned. So I just think there's not a lot of good corners. I think it's a great move though for both sides. I think for the Colts you are in win now mode, and you want to load up on the defensive side of the ball. You have a good D line. Their secondary is pretty good, not great. You add Sauce. Hopefully it can kind of move them closer to the great. I mean I like it for both sides. As far as predicting that the Jets will be good, it's hard for me to even say because they've been asked my entire lifetime, so I have no idea. Because I guess the last time they were good was Mike Vick, but even then I was like in the womb, so I don't even know if that counts. Um, but I mean, yes, they do. They do have an enormous amount of first round picks. But I don't know. I mean, how good is the Jets GM at drafting? I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you. But yeah. So wild stuff of the NFL last week. I guess as we kind of wrap up our NFL stuff, we can kind of preview what's to come and all the big headlines going into next week, week 10 of the NFL. Thursday night game is tomorrow, Corbin. Raiders Broncos. It's a divisional game, so you never know. But what are some games next week that are kind of standing out to you here?
I think again the definitely stands out as Buffalo at Baltimore at Minnesota. I think this is going to determine. First of all, I think if the Ravens win this game, I think they're not losing another game.
Oh yeah,
Second of all,
they could run their schedule
because their schedule is just as easy as the Patriots to me.
Yeah,
Once they get
they
past
they have the Steelers twice and they're back like 6 games. So
But this game is also a statement game for Minnesota because we'll see if they're actually, what they're actually looking like with the second straight game.
yeah, if JJ McCarthy goes out there and beats the Ravens, holy shit. Because then the Ravens are 3-6. I mean, that would be insane. Baltimore's favored by 4.5, by the way.
There's actually some good. There's good primetime games this week. Sunday night is Steelers at Chargers. I think that'll be again just a weird game. Like I don't know how is the Steelers defense going to show up. Are they going to show up like they want to go home immediately or what? I don't know.
Yeah.
Monday night is Philly at Green Bay. And the Green Bay's coming off a loss. Philly's coming off their bye week.
Yeah, how is Green Bay favored in that game? I mean, I assume because
they're off a loss.
Yeah,
so,
but
I
they're
honestly see that
2.5 though. almost
Yeah,
by a
I know
field
that
goal.
is a little weird, but
I don't
um,
know. I mean, I'd say you give it to the Eagles
New
like one and
England,
a half.
there's
I'd
New
say
England,
I
Tampa
can't.
Bay.
I can't sports bet, and neither of us can sports bet, but that'd be my bet. I would take the Eagles minus plus 2.5. Absolutely, smash that.
Um, I mean, the NFC West battle this week: Arizona at Seattle, Rams at 49ers. I mean, I think the
It's a
Seattle Arizona
must-win
game
game.
is actually going
Must-win
to be
game.
uh closer. I mean, Seattle, it's 6.5 favorites. Like, I can see that, but I can also see a world where it's a division game and anything can happen. For the Rams and 49ers game, obviously the Rams really tough loss last time they faced them with the fumble at the 1 yard line.
Yeah,
I definitely think if the Rams want to win the division, they have
got to
to
win
win
this
this
game.
game. You
Huge
can't be
game.
swept by the 49ers.
You got to
And you
win
also have
this
to beat
one, and
Seattle twice.
you either got to beat Seattle twice, or you got to split with them as well.
I think they have a better chance of beating Seattle than they do beating San Francisco, just because San Francisco always plays this hard, and I feel like Seattle. Like, I really do feel like if you get pressure on Sam Darnold, I really don't feel like he's that good.
Oh, absolutely. No one
But
has
his
done that
O-line,
yet. Their O-line's
but
really good in Seattle. Really, really
because
good.
Sam Darnold did the same thing in Minnesota last year, where he would sit in the pocket and just go crazy
Yeah,
every game,
insane.
and then he got in the playoffs,
And we shit on him.
and
He
we would
he
get
faced
pressure
our
on
D
him.
line, and it was over. It was wraps as soon as that game started. Yeah, I
So
actually
I
can't
mean,
believe. Go ahead, keep going.
but yeah, I'm just saying. I think the San Francisco game is going to be harder than the Seattle game, just based off the San Francisco game is way more important, and it's in San Francisco. Obviously, we're gonna win or have a revenge, but this is the rivalry. I don't know why they put us against Seattle for rivalry, but
a
this game is
huge
going to
game.
determine the rest of our season.
It's what it's really gonna do is give us a better idea of what the division's gonna look like and what seeding is gonna look like based on this. Because once this game finishes, we've got Seattle twice, and then I don't think we've played Arizona yet either, and then we've got
No, we
Arizona
haven't.
twice. So, and I think respectfully, I think we'll sweep Arizona, and then the Seattle games is where
I mean, I would hope.
we normally kill them. Um, but I mean this is big because if this is a must-win game for us because then we would go to 7-2, San Fran would be 6-4. You take the game and a half jump technically because we split the other one. I mean that would be huge. Um, what's really interesting to me about this game is that we are favored and we're favored by like four and a
Oh wow,
half.
4.5. Yeah.
ESPN, according to ESPN
No,
bet.
I mean, I do see, because you take into account all these things. Like, the
Like I
Rams are playing.
understand that, and it's like Mac Jones is gonna play again, but like clearly that didn't matter when we played that.
I don't
Now
know if he
we had
is.
no, he is. He's playing. They already
They already said he is.
yes. Um, and it's really interesting because it's like I mean yeah, technically when we played them at home, we had like 8 billion chances to win that game, but God, words cannot describe how much I hate this franchise. So I won't get into it, but yeah, this is a huge 4:30 game.
They're saying
Uh,
they're saying Brock Purdy might not be back for the rest of the season.
yeah, it's looking like it's gonna be Mac
Well, thank God
Jones.
they have Mac Jones then.
Um, and I'm hoping that my bowling tournament will be done in time so I can sit down and watch what's going to be cinema. I don't really think there's any other game with those kind of stakes really besides probably that Steelers Chargers game because that game's going to matter a lot for seeding. The Chiefs are going to be the ones keeping an eye on that game a lot moving forward
Yeah.
with the way the tiebreakers will fall. And Eagles Packers. I guess you could kind of say it's got one seed potential ish. I mean, it will really help if the Packers win that game, obviously. But if the Eagles win that game, I don't think anyone's gonna be in their way, to my knowledge, in the NFC to stop them from getting the one seed. Um,
I mean, they beat
I
mostly
don't.
everyone who has some
I think
records. So.
because I think Green Bay's got the best record. But you could argue us, but the Eagles have beaten us.
No, Eagles beat us, so it's impossible.
So yeah,
We
I
have to
mean,
finish with a better record, and it's just not.
we'd have to have a better record outright, and
Um,
I don't see that happening. So
but yeah, that's about all the NFL, honestly, for this
oh, and
coming week.
Patriots
But
Bucks as well.
Yeah, I said. I guess I said that earlier.
No, you didn't. You
I
said
did.
no.
Rewind it. I said it earlier, and you were talking over me. I said it.
Nah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Um. So really quick for like 5 or 10 minutes, we just want to talk about the NBA and just the top because we are a week that goes by. It's probably about 4 to 5 games NBA because NBA goes quick. Um. So if we just go to the conferences in the NBA and we see what the current standings are, I think the teams we said last week that are surprising, like the Spurs and the Sixers and the Bulls and all these teams, I think they are still proving themselves.
Yeah, dude, Josh Giddey's crazy.
Josh Giddey, you can mark my words. I'll come back to this video when it happens, but he's going to be an All-Star this year.
Oh,
Um, maybe All NBA. We'll see.
well, now you gotta play enough games to be all NBA. But
Wow. Well, Josh Giddey is not known for missing games.
that's true.
He's known for other stuff that But I there's a lot of teams that I'm still a little bit iffy on, like the Clippers. I think on paper their roster is pretty freaking stacked. People always say James Harden's old, Kawhi Leonard's a little old, bro. They play at such a high level still; it's insane. It just depends how healthy they are.
I don't think they're a threat.
I think they're. I think
every year
I
with
think
with
their
the
coaching is
Clippers.
not good because I think if they have good coaching, they could be up with
Yeah,
the Nuggets and Lakers right now.
I
But
mean every year though so far, like the Clippers have always had them, and it's like, oh, if they're healthy, and then they're healthy, and everyone's like, oh, they're scary, and then they get into the playoffs and they're like, meh. Like they did have that one year where I think they won a series, or no, Dallas beat them. It went 7, but I don't know. Like they're a good team, but they're not a team where like if you're another team in the Western Conference, you're like, oh, we really don't want to play the Clippers. Like I don't know, they got a weird roster. But I mean, as of recording this, big Wednesday night game, Spurs Lakers. Um, Shout out to JJ Redick. He's coaching his ass off right now. As we're 6-2, and LeBron hasn't even played yet. We won a game without Reeves and Luka. Um, Nick Smith Jr., absolute GOAT, threw up at halftime, still dropped 25, won that game against Portland. Um, Corbin's Heat finally did something. They won. They beat the Clippers, and they lost to us. Um,
you were not healthy, by the way.
Neither were the Lakers. Lakers haven't been healthy technically this whole season. We don't have LeBron.
Oh, one guy. Oh my God.
LeBron James.
I think LeBron's gonna make you guys worse, honestly.
We'll see. We'll see. But I'm really, really scared to watch Wemby and what he's gonna do to our team tonight. So I'm not looking forward to that. Thunder are still undefeated.
Yeah.
I think the Bulls they lost once, right? They're like 5-1, 6-1. Yeah.
Yes.
And how about the Sixers blowing that game too? Like Chicago.
I told you that. I said this is gonna end up being a game that comes down to the wire, and what do you know? It came down to a game winner. Like it's because the Bulls are too good to lose by 20 points, bro. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I want to bring this up, because I said last week about how the Mavericks, I feel like should be better than their record, and how I feel like they're using Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Wrong. And the more they play, they keep proving me right. It's really pissing me off, because I do think Cooper Flag is as good as VJ Edgecombe when it comes to talent, but the system is just totally different. Like
Mavericks are 2-5 right now.
Yeah, but
second to last in the Western Conference.
I mean, it also doesn't help that your best player is Anthony Davis, who's made of like chopsticks.
And what's he again? Oh, that's right, he's injured.
Yeah. But the Sixers, like, they're second or third. Like, it goes Maxey, Embiid, VJ Edgecombe.
Yeah.
Scoring option. The Mavericks, it's like PJ Washington, freaking D'Angelo Russell. Like, Cooper Flag's not he's probably like their fifth scoring option. I think if I still stand by that. I think you should start D'Angelo Russell because he's been playing good. everyone makes fun of him because he's DeAndre Russell, but I still think he's a good quality point guard. I think if you start him and put PJ Washington on the bench and have him run the bench unit, I think you're going to be so much better because I think bench is more important than starting lineup to me. And even if they're starting lineup,
Yeah.
even if they're starting lineup like isn't like game changing, if you have someone like PJ Washington that can like stabilize the bench and like make them be more consistent, then they're not going to be they'll be okay, better until AD comes back. But like,
Is
I
he
don't want to be
coming? Like,
biased.
what is
They
his?
say like 2 weeks, like a week ago. So I don't know.
Didn't they
But
say it was Achilles?
no, it's it's not. Well, if it was Achilles, he'd be out for the season. It's
No,
like
I know it was something, but it was something with his Achilles. Like it
it's
was.
like it's like an ankle something. But they said he'll be reevaluated in like 2 weeks. So we don't. I don't know how long he's actually gonna be out.
Oh, great.
Ultimately, but if we're talking about like, I'm not even trying to be biased, but like you look at the team like the Heat, where their starting lineup isn't. You look at it and you're like, okay, that's not game changing. Like they don't have someone who's like could drop 40 points any given day. Their bench is probably, I'm pretty sure, is top 5 or top 3 in the league.
Oh, it has to be if they want to
It
be
helps
competitive.
having Jaime Jaquez play the way he's playing off the bench. I think he's averaging like 16 points per game off the bench. He's having a great third year.
Yeah.
Simone Fontecchio, no one talks about him, but if you watch the way he plays, this guy is insane. Nikola Jovic, Kel'el Ware, but I just think that's Eric Spoelstra is just magic with him being able to coach a team that's on paper, not so great, but no one talks about like the guys like Davion Mitchell, who's like he does every game just 10 points, like 8 assists, like that's a true point guard and plays insane defense. I'm really glad that Bam Adebayo is starting to get some recognition because of his defense, and he's actually playing good. But he's been doing this, and I don't know why we're just talking about this like defensive player of the year. But
yeah,
no matter how much you talk about it, it's gonna be Wemby because of his blocks. Like you said last week, defensive player of the year is a blocking award.
He's literally gonna get that for the next 7 years, 8 years. I mean, it's not even gonna be fair.
To end, I want to ask you this question. What is a team right now, and we'll come back to this at the end of the season. We have to like write this down or something. What is a team right now that was in the playoffs last year that maybe won't make it this year in each conference?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the Mavericks were in the playoffs last year, weren't they? Or no, they lost in the play-in. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say because all the teams in the West, especially that were in the playoffs last year, are like as of right now, record-wise, are still similar. I will say there's a good chance the Clippers might not make the playoffs. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like again, like their health, and I think the Blazers are interesting. I think the Jazz are interesting. They could be playing teams. The Suns, I guess if they could figure something out. I mean, they have Devin Booker's a stud. The Grizzlies, I don't know what the hell to make of that team. They're gonna get rid of Ja Morant probably.
In the Western Conference, I think it's between 2 teams. I think it's between the Clippers and the Grizzlies to not make it. But in the Eastern Conference, I think there's a solid 3 to 4 teams. I mean, Boston because they're hurt.
Yeah.
Orlando if they don't get it together pretty soon. Indiana, obviously.
I think Orlando will definitely figure it out. I mean, yeah, Indiana is different.
I think
Boston. I don't think Boston's gonna make the playoffs. Not with the way their roster is.
But with Orlando, I mean, they were the 17 last year, and everyone's like, "Oh, they're going to be top 3 seed this year." But I still don't think because Paolo Banchero is like, I think he's an all-star for sure, but he still has those games where he's dropping like 13 points because he's like 30%.
I think the sneakiest team in the East is probably the Hawks right now.
I don't know. They don't have Trae Young for a while now, so.
Well, right, but if they can just stay afloat and stay close to 500.
I'm telling you, man, keep sleeping on the Heat, bro. Like actually.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm still high on the Hornets.
I mean, the good.
I may sound dumb, but
no, the good thing is for the Heat this year is that like if they're anywhere around 500, they'll be close to the 5 or 6 seed because the teams in the East just are nowhere near the magnitude of the Western Conference. Like looking at it right now,
we can beat the Bucks though in seeding though.
like I know it's early on in the year, but this Lakers Spurs game tonight might have huge implications going down the line as far as seeding, depending on how close these teams are. Because like we're only one game between each other. I mean, we've played one more game than San Antonio has, but I mean, it might come down to some of these early season games, seeding wise. But yeah, I don't know. And Sacramento's like you would think with their
Sacramento's
roster
such a weird
that
team, bro.
that they wouldn't be.
Sacramento's a retirement home. Let's be honest, they're a retirement.
Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, definitely still tons to watch out for. Even the Knicks, like I don't think the Knicks should have 3 losses already. Like they should be playing way better basketball.
Well,
But
yeah, I mean Mike Brown, people were questioning
well,
him
and they
earlier.
were they were they were 2-3, but they've won their last two, so we'll see.
Yeah, but when we come back next week, I'm sure these stands are all gonna be mixed up all over.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
another
see. I
5 to 6
could
games.
could
So
could be a new 1 seed in the East if the Bulls could still keep it. I don't think the Thunder are going to lose a game anytime soon.
no,
Um, so yeah, I mean I think the Thunder are going to be the juggernaut of the NBA for the
yeah,
next.
I think it's probably more likely than not that they repeat. Honestly,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I think I mean, and yeah, as big as a Lakers fan as I am, there's no way in hell we're beating that team in a 7 game series. No way in hell, unless at the trade deadline we make the craziest move of all time and LeBron's traded and we get it this no, there's no way. There's no way because they're so athletic. They're they're big on the wings. They're big on the inside between Hartenstein and Chet and SGA's insane. I don't know. Their roster is perfectly constructed. They're all paid. They're all young. I don't know. I don't know how you beat that team. And
yeah.
Indiana almost did, but I don't
I
know.
think they would have, man. I really do think they would have if he didn't get hurt. But
I think it would have been close, but I think I would trust.
bro, the way he started that game 7,
Yeah, yeah, basketball's a game of runs. Like there's no doubt in my
yeah, I
mind that
get that, but it was also
SGA
in
would have closed
Indiana
that game
too,
out.
man.
There was no doubt in my mind that SGA
And,
would have.
listen, all I know is it's gonna be one of the biggest what ifs ever because of
Oh, oh,
the
absolutely.
run that they made in the playoffs with the shots. Like, how many game winners does Tyrese Halliburton have that just in the playoffs that year? Like
Yeah,
4.
and
Like,
and he's such an interesting player. I hope he comes back, and he's not a point scorer, but I love watching him play. So
he
I
can
hope he
score
comes
points
back.
though.
And
He can definitely score points. I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
he's
I hope when him and Tatum come back, the Eastern Conference will hopefully be a little bit more revived than obviously
I
this
think
year.
well, I
So.
think when Tatum comes back, it'll be towards the end of the season, which will be too late. So I don't even know if he's gonna
No,
be
I'm
back.
talking about next year mostly. I don't really
But I
think he'll
think
be a
next
factor.
year, I think either Derek White or Jaylen Brown is gonna be gone. I think they're gonna trade one of them.
Probably Derek White. I
Um,
don't think they're gonna break up Brown and Tatum.
I think they might because teams are
Might
going
as
to
well.
offer a lot for Jaylen Brown. Teams are offering
They're
a
gonna
lot for
offer
them.
for Derek White.
I don't think they're gonna
Unless
do
they
that.
see
I think
something
Jaylen
this
Brown's
year
better
that's
than Derek
really
White.
unless they see something this year that's really intriguing, but I don't really know. I can't really think of a team that really could be like, oh, we're at Jaylen Brown away from, going and making a run. Especially
I
that's
know
in
what
the
you mean.
Eastern Conference. I don't know. I know you're gonna
Well,
say the Heat, but
no, I don't want Jaylen Brown. Absolutely not. The hell? Um, I don't. I
Spurs.
think we're no, not the Spurs because
That's the scary thing about that Spurs team is that they have assets. And they use some to get De'Aaron Fox, who hasn't even played a game. Whew, man, if they got another wing guy,
I
that
look
would be
at
scary.
in the Eastern Conference. I was going to say the Magic, but you know,
Yeah, you pair him with Paulo, and yeah, maybe.
and for the Western Conference, I would say either the Blazers or the Timberwolves.
Yeah, well, and did you say that in the pod? Did you say that on our podcast or on this when you mentioned the John Morant thing, or I think that was that before we started recording with the Timberwolves? I can't remember. Where you said that the Timberwolves are interested in John Morant potentially, or they're monitoring that situation or something like that.
Yeah, I mean they're monitoring it, but they're not. I mean,
I think that'd be a terrible fit.
Unfortunately, the Heat are monitoring it too because I really
Well,
don't.
why wouldn't you? I mean,
Well, the Heat are freaking in the run for everyone, and they don't do anything.
well,
Um,
I think Ja would fit that culture, get his
yeah,
shit together.
I do think it too, but I don't think we need it, and we'd have to give up like Jovic and Wiggins, and it's like
You can afford to give up Jovic.
Bro, no one talks about him either, but like Jovic is a bench player, man. But for someone who has attitude, like that's the last thing we need. We just got rid of someone that had attitude. Now we're gonna bring another dude that's
Yeah,
has a huge
grenades and
ego
guns and all that fun
and
stuff.
getting fined for a celebration because he's 2 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a good player.
Hey,
But,
Embiid got fined for his too. So
yeah, I know. But and you know who? I mean, you don't know until it actually happens. Like it will. I think if he does go to the Heat, big if, that the coaching will definitely mature him and like he'll actually like take. things
well,
more
yeah, I
serious
mean
for once.
that'd be the best case scenario for him.
But that's what Kitchen Perkins said today. Actually, is he should go to the Heat. But I want to focus on the season.
Why
and our
not?
current
You pair
players.
him and Bam
That would be nasty.
with
John Moran loves Bam.
with
And
Spoelstra's
Polo
coaching.
too.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think he's such a weird player. Like he's like he's a guard that does big man stuff.
He's prime
So I
Russell
don't know.
Westbrook who can shoot the three, basically.
No, what Primus Westbrook was way more dominant than Durant, bro.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like skills, like as far as like what have we seen a player
Yeah, I
like him? Yeah,
guess. I
we
mean,
we've seen a player like him.
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense. But
That's why like you can't compare Wemby to anybody because like you haven't seen anybody
well,
like
no,
him.
you literally can't.
Like it's like you've seen like other like like Josh Giddey you can compare to other players, kind of like a Paul George where how he came to this. Like he kind of reminds me of how Paul George came up with how Josh Giddey's playing right now. But yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Is
think
that everything?
Yeah, I think that'll put us we're right around the
Right?
hour the
Yeah,
hour
we're
mark.
fine now.
So yeah, that'll do it for this week's video. We will probably end up doing what's next week. That's the weekend of the 15th, 16th. So I'm not sure if we're gonna end up doing a double upload next week. I think last week was kind of just like a test run if we want to do, if we want to do one like this. Maybe we'll do a double episode when, like the NBA, like, because in season tournaments going on, depending on how interested we are on that. We do potentially have some segments that are going to be coming up as far as NFL and that kind of stuff. We kind of have segments kind of called You're Cooked. We have Without the Script, and we also have Scripted or Unscripted, which is kind of like a what's more likely kind of stuff. And obviously, it won't just be this main kind of screen that you guys will see as the podcast goes on. So yeah, we have some stuff cooking up in the works as we kind of get the show on the road. And that was our NFL coverage and NBA coverage for the week. So enjoy the rest of your week. Watch a lot of sports. Go Lakers tonight. If you're watching on the East Coast, 10 p.m. And go Rams on Sunday. Any closing remarks for you, Corbin?
I mean, you plugged your team, so I'm gonna say go Heat tonight against Denver. So
It's Denver. Is that in Denver or is that?
yeah, that's in Denver.
Ooh. Oh, damn, that's a tough road stretch then, huh? Playing
Yeah, you're telling me.
at Lakers, at Clippers, at Denver. Yikes.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, best of luck to that.
But yeah, we do have we're trying to figure out some segments to do so that it's not just one-on-one talk. We actually have something that we're consistently doing like segments wise.
Something for your viewing pleasure.
Yeah, because I know we're not the best thing to look at.
No, yeah, but yeah, that's gonna be in the works. And yes, we know we didn't do a tier list this week. We wanted to kind of come back.
We're gonna do tier list every other week.
We'll
'cause
kind of.
feel like
I think
it's a little overboard to do a tier list every week.
next week will probably be where we bring back the tier list, and then we'll probably have a segment or two mixed in with our NFL talk. And then next week we'll probably end up doing a double upload for one for NFL and one for NBA.
Because tier list probably takes up a half hour anyway. So
Yeah. So we'll probably start it next week with that, and then we'll go into the other segments that we have planned. So that'll about do it for us. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, tell your friends, buy your merch. Corbin's not repping at this time. I don't have any money, so I haven't bought anything yet. But I will eventually after I buy Lakers tickets and go broke again. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you made it this far, TikTok and Instagram. Well, TikTok and Instagram. Look at that. Go follow us there, and we will see you in the next video of Unscripted.